My name is Simon Freelove and I've come from Newport. I have struggled with same-sex attraction for most of my life. My sexuality was awakened at a very early age, inappropriately. I wish that my feelings were never woken up before my teenage years, and I just thought, do I want this anymore? I've become tired of it. I've become tired of the one-night stands not being fulfilled inside in my heart. And about a month later, on a Thursday night meeting, I broke down at the end of the meeting. I took a Bible with me and read about the immoral man in Corinthians. And I thought, this is me. I called out to the Lord and He prayed for me. And my journey started there. If people want to come out of same-sex attraction and want to seek help, they should have the right to do that. Because I have rights as well. Although we are a minority who have come out of gay lifestyles, lesbianism and transgender and whatever, I have rights. I have rights. If I want to seek help and want to be free of same-sex attraction, people are being prejudiced to me. I have a right too.
My name is Kiran, I'm from Leicester. I was raised in a Sikh family. Earlier on in my pre-teens, I was experiencing same-sex attraction. Probably towards my early adulthood that I kind of really accepted this is who I am. Did feel I had to hide it at the beginning, and because I felt it would bring shame upon my family coming from an Indian culture. Actually was in a long-term relationship where my ex-partner encountered God, and through her experience, learning about Jesus and learning about the Bible, the words that were coming out of her mouth just resounded in my heart. The Bible was speaking to me, the story she was telling me about Jesus and who He was. It was like an undeniable truth that was internalizing in me. I couldn't deny it. I thought I was born gay. This is why I pursued this identity with such a passion. I built this whole life up based on this lie. But the words of the Bible and the words of Jesus resounded so much to me that I left the life of homosexuality. Change is possible. People who say you can't change is false, it's lie, it's a mindset. I believe change is possible because it's happened to me. My response to politicians that want to ban any sort of help available to people like me who've come out of the life of homosexuality or same-sex attraction is that you are cutting us off from the support that individuals may require. We are already a minority group within a minority, and I think people like us will need support in some places or at some point in their lives. I think it's my decision whether I'm able to move forward with that new decision, whether I can move forward with leaving homosexuality and living a life where I don't have to practice that anymore. X Out Loud, they're like a family to me. They're a great support. It's so encouraging to have people around you who have shared similar journeys, such as coming out of same-sex attraction relationships. And now that together we can look forward to our futures and living a life of happiness and peace.
My name's Sam. I'm 29 years old and I'm from Devon. I came out when I was 15 years old. I was never ashamed of the fact that I was attracted to men. I very much had a typical gay life of having boyfriends. I just felt that there was a disconnect, and that was a pattern I was seeing in all my relationships. And as a result, I separated myself from boys and other men, and that left a hole in my heart, and that had to be filled with something. Now I realise it's more of a spiritual and emotional connection that I need rather than a sexual connection. So Boris Johnson's trying to implement a ban on what he calls conversion therapy. Now what this means for people like me is churches that are not able to counsel their members, and effectively that would have an effect on what they can and can't preach in their own church. And this wouldn't just go for churches, it would go for mosques and synagogues and all these other religious institutions and places of worship. So what that means is that Boris Johnson and whoever he's working with, or whoever will replace him in the future, will have their foot in the door of religious institutions, and therefore they will be able to start dictating what people can and can't preach as right or wrong. And I think that's very dangerous. I think it's important that my story is shared because I haven't come from anyone telling me that I am not allowed to be gay or to have relationships with men. I've come from a background where it was accepted completely. And I found out for myself that it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. What I would say to members of Parliament is that I would ask them to think who stands to gain from this ban and who stands to lose. The people who gain, I suspect, are people with very sinister political agendas, and that doesn't sit right with me. So that's why I'm sharing my story.
I am Libby. I grew up in a Christian family. My parents divorced. My mum fell ill shortly after. I watched my mum die. My dad went and married another woman, and that taught me this lesson that what my mum had was not enough. That was around the time that I discovered transgenderism. When I was 21, I ended up God called me back to the church. I went on an amazing journey to get to where I am now. Returning to womanhood has been intense. It's not been easy, but it's been so rewarding that I couldn't describe the amount of fulfillment that I've got from just that. To me, the most amazing miracle is that I can sit here right now wearing a dress and none of it's false, none of it's fake. So the thing that really motivated my new confidence with that sort of piece with my gender was my relationship with God. It was personal. It was something that no human being could ever have put in me. I wasn't alone anymore. There were other people with the same convictions and the same values as me. Sex Out Loud came along at a point where I really needed somebody to encourage me that I was a woman. It made me feel like what I was doing was possible.
My name is Kiran, I'm Italian. I grew up in a dysfunctional family where I felt a lot of abuse from my mom. I felt no love and I felt abandonment. I felt rejection. I started to feel the same-sex attraction and I felt a lot of shame and fear. And my medication, I think, it was pornography because I became so addicted to pornography. I was watching pornography every week, sometimes every day, to be honest. And I was thinking I was born gay. And before the 18, actually, didn't have any gay experience because for me it was like a taboo and it was a secret. But I felt disconnected as well from other guys, from building friendship. And when I got 18, I decided to leave my house. So it's been like a season of 8 months. I went to work in hospitality, hotel, far away from my house. But actually, I destroyed my life because I started to use a lot of ecstasy and I started to have a gay experience as well. The gay relationship or the sexual gay experience, they were not fulfilling my heart because, to be honest, I was looking for love and friendship and connection, but I didn't find it. I find actually people were looking only for sex and fun. Personally, I think nobody born gay, and I'm not born gay. And I don't reprime anything, but actually I find in Christ my true identity. I find a real love because I was looking for love. I was not looking actually for sex, but I was looking for connection and love. And in Christ I find love and connection.
My name is Tia and I was sexually abused. That's when I started exploring my sexuality and I pursued the same-sex attraction. In 2016, I started getting into depression. I had a girlfriend, I was living with her. I had a perfect relationship, you know. I started hearing thoughts in my head to kill myself. And one day, I think it was beginning of 2017, I was actually thinking, should I cut my wrists? Should I overdose myself with something? What do I do? Strangely, I heard another voice, a different voice that I never heard before. And that voice told me, what is stopping you from God? Try God. I started crying and I said that I've done this in my life, I've done that. And as I'm saying these things, the actual images of the things that I did wrong started flashing before my eyes one by one. And I'm looking at them and I'm saying, I've done this, yes, I've done that, I've done this. And now I'm done with my life. And God, if you are real, you know, I need you to save me because I'm done. I just noticed that as I opened my eyes, I noticed something heavy just lifted off of my shoulders. I physically felt that. And I didn't even know what happened to me. I felt so much peace in my heart. My depression and everything just like that, it's just disappeared. I started reading the Bible. I became more hungry for God, you know. I just didn't feel attracted to women anymore. I was looking for people who have left that kind of lifestyle. I came across X Out Loud, and it gave me a sense of belonging. It just makes you feel safe to have those people around where you can discuss your experiences. It's just become my family. I think it's important for me to tell my stories because I would like to encourage people who are going through that, who are genuinely looking for help, that there is hope. There are people like yourself. Look at me, I'm here. You know, I've been on that lifestyle, I've come out of it, and I have no desire to go back. Politicians or the activists, they have no right to take that freedom away. This is our right. As humans, we have a right because everybody has a right. I want to have my right as well, to live the way I want to live.
I'm Rob from the UK. Realised I found no satisfaction in the gay life, having come out some years before. Deeply dissatisfied with the results of the gay life. People had told me what I could get in gay life, and I'd really gone into that for a couple of decades, and I think that there was some sort of deficit of male affection. Where I went looking, I didn't find what I was looking for. It didn't satisfy me. It made me depressed. I just was totally and utterly disillusioned. Everything I'd hoped and wanted didn't happen. I don't think it's anyone else's place to patronise me and tell me that I don't know what's best for me. You know, I lived the gay life for a couple of decades and it didn't work for me. So, yeah, it's no one else's place to come along and say, you can't explore something different. I say, don't tell me who I am. I know myself better than anyone in the world. And I know what feelings I've had throughout the course of my life. And I know what things I've tried. And I know the intimate details of that. So no one else can tell me who I really am. And I have direct personal experience of things in my life that have been harmful, that have brought me misery. And ultimately, that's what the gay life gave me. And in seeking help to move away from that type of life, I've actually gained more freedom and peace. That my experience of therapy to help me go in a different direction sexually has been freeing and has helped me to move towards my dreams. To the government, I would say, I think it's overstepping the mark in a free society when a government says to me that I can't pursue a certain way of life. I should be free to pursue the kind of sexual relationships with other adults that I want to. And to get help to do that, I want to explore my heterosexual side, and I think I've got the right to do that. If I've been harmed, please tell me how I've been harmed, because I have not experienced that. I've experienced freedom.